O kung plunder yung tawag mga kababayan ni Batangas Congresswoman Jinky Luistro sa nakomit na kaso sa maling paggamit ng confidential funds ni Sara Duterte mga kababayan. Ang description naman po ni Congressman Sia Alonto, systematic scam. So madaling sabi, scammer itong si Sara Duterte. Di ba yung scammer, yung bansag sa kanya, ang tawag ng mga scammer, budol. So kung ano yung tinatawag ng mga minions ni Sara Duterte sa ating Pangulo.
Nagpapagang mga balita at pagtalakay sa mga isyu ng lipunan. Pulsa, opinyon, banat at paglalantad sa katotohanan. Pulsa, what you see is what you get. You decide.
Bongbong Marcos, BBM, bodol-bodol man, bumuelta po talaga lahat kay Sara Duterte. Siya na ngayon ang labeled as scammer. Kasi ang sabi ni Alonto, Congressman si Alonto Adjong, this is a systematic scam involving millions of pesos, 612.5 million in confidential funds, sabi niya. House leader exposes systematic scam involving bogus receipts to justify misuse of 612.5 million in confidential funds. O na dinescribe siya mga kababayan as a case of plunder kasi surpassing the threshold of 50 million. Sabi po ni Luistro saka ni Congressman Romeo Acop. Ngayon naman po, systematic scam. Sabi naman po mga kababayan ni One Rider Party List Representative Rods Gutierrez, throughout the course of 7 hearings anya, we have brought detail to some long-held suspicions. The confidential funds of the OBP and DepEd had been abused, all malversed, or perhaps even taken. Pag sinabing taken po, ito yung ibang tawag sa pagnanakaw. Taken. Madaling sabi ni nakaw. Taken eh. Taken away. Tulad ng mga snatchers. Ini-snatch. Tindihan niya Mr. Maravillas yung Vice Presidente. Ganon katindi po ang nadiscovery ng Congress. But before ko ibigay sa inyo ang kompletong mga storya ng balitang yan, click subscribe muna dito sa ating YouTube channel and hit the notification bell para lagi po kayong updated sa mga kaganapan dito sa ating bansa. Like and share na rin po ninyo ng ating video. At wag na rin po ninyo na skip yung ating mga commercial ads para tuloy-tuloy lang ang pag-unlad ng bagong Pilipinas. Lagi ninyong ina-accuse yung ating Pangulong Bongbong bilang budol-budol man, BBM. Yan ang meaning nila ng BBM, budol-budol man. Sa result ng investigation po, after 7 hearings, ang lumalabas pong budol, si Sara, in-scam mga kababayan yung ating mga mamamayang Pilipino. Hindi po ako nagsabi niyan, kundi si Congressman Adjo. Tinawag niyang systematic scam involving bogus receipts para niya ma-justify ang 612.5 million pesos na paggastos, maling paggamit po ng confidential funds. It is a systematic and deliberate scam. Adjong disclosed the emergence of new fabricated names including Milky Sikoya. Matindi mga kababayan. Dati, Mary Grace Piatos lang. Tapos, Kokoy Villamin. May Nova Tempora o Isipa. Lalong lumala po. May Milky Sikoya na din po. Alice Crescencio, Sally, and Sheila. Adding to the previously flagged Mary Grace Piatos, whose name has become a symbol of the controversy. So sabi dito sa balita, the lawmaker accused the Duterte-led Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education of manufacturing nearly 5,000 ARs to cover up the alleged misuse of public funds. Ang akala natin, 615 lang na mga questionable ARs. 5,000 po. So lahat ng pondo, mga kababayan, na dinisburse ni Inday, malamang nasa mabuting kalagayan po ang napuntahan ng milyon-milyon na pera ng bayan. 5,000 ARs, ang sabi, minanufacture. Pag sinabing minanufacture, ginawa-gawa lang po. O ito, pakinggan natin mga kababayan yung presentation na kagimbal-gimbal ni Adjong.
Fellow members of this
Click subscribe muna dito sa ating YouTube channel and hit the notification bell para lagi po kayong updated sa mga kaganapan dito sa ating bansa. Like and share na rin po ninyo ang ating video. At huwag na rin po ninyo na skip yung ating mga commercial ads para tuloy-tuloy lang ang pag-unlad ng Bagong Pilipinas. Sa mga nagana po ng malinis and spacious fitness gym, pumunta lang po kayo sa aming Colossal Fitness Gym. We also offer Grab Car Rental with our brand new 2023 model ng Toyota Innova. We also accept booking for those who are planning to travel via PAL, Cebu Pacific, and other airline companies, local and international, and bills payment for Meralco Bills, Aleco Bills, PLDT, etc. Ang Colossal Fitness Gym is located at 3rd floor Security Bank Building, Lanco Business Park, Legazpi City, Albay. For inquiries, look for Gilon Maravillas, contact number 0966-802-0949. Yan po yung aming Innova. Lagi na pong matao sa amin. Yan po mga bagong clients namin. Napakaganda at colorful at napakalinis ng aming gym po. Pati mga foreigners po pumupunta sa amin, mga British tourist po sila dito sa Legazpi. Na-set up na rin po yung aming mga brand new gym equipment. May treadmill na rin po kami. Ito naman po yung bago naming product na binibenta online. Eye Glow Serum, whitening po siya. Tingnan ninyo yung epekto sa aking anak na architect before and now. Yung mga inquiries po ninyo, dumiretso na lang kayo sa kanyang Facebook account, Riz Maravillas. Ito naman po, Firmax Firming and Lifting Cream, pinapahid po sa mga pulses in affected area. Mainam po sa paninigas ng mga kasukasuan. Ito naman po, Automax Radiant Serum. Sa mukha naman yung application, anti-aging po siya. You will look 10 years younger than your age. Sa mga cancer patients naman po, baka lang gusto ninyo itong itry. Neng siya red mixed fruit drink. Hindi mo po siya gamot, food supplement siya. Kaya lang, gawa siya mga kababayan sa goji berry. Yung goji berry, may anti-cancer properties. O ngayon, yung mga inquiries ninyo, dumiretso na lang kayo sa aming messenger sa Facebook para masagot namin agad. Ayos pa? Ayos na ayos niya, Mr. Maravillas.
honorable committee. To my fellow Filipinos who are watching right now, what we have witnessed in the past 7 hearings before this Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability of the House of Representatives has left us with more questions than answers. Ang mga tanong po natin dito, hindi nakukuha ang kakulang sagot. Bagkus, nanganganak pa ng maraming tanong. But one thing, Mr. Chairman, is extremely clear to this representation. Tayo po ay na-scam sa pamamagitan ng libu-libong acknowledgement receipts basta lamang dinoktor or gawa-gawa lamang. Mr. Chair, almost 5 acknowledgement receipts of dubious origin, kapalit ang 612.5 million pesos na confidential funds na basta-basta lang naglaho mula sa kaban ng bayan sa ilalim ng pamumuno ng ating Vice Presidente. Mr. Chair, 612,500,000 pesos o mahigit kalahating bilyon. Mr. Chair, ito po ang pondo ng bayan na nawala o hindi ma-explain mula lamang December 2022 hanggang September 2023. 9 na buwan lamang po, Mr. Chairman. Sa ganitong halaga, halos budget na po ng isang buong ahensya para sa isang buong taon ang pinag-uusapan po dito. Pinaglaruan po tayo? Niloko ho ba tayo? O pinaglaruan po ang publiko pagdating sa kanilang pondo? Mr. Chairman, sa item 4.12 ng Joint Circular Ang requirement po sa government agencies na nagdi-disperse ng confidential funds is to submit documentary evidence of payment upon the liquidation at the end of the period for which it was allocated. These documents, Mr. Chairman, are to be submitted to the Intelligence and Confidential Fund Audit Unit of the Commission of Audit, who shall then audit these documents. In fact, upon the submission of the liquidation report to ICFAO, a certification signed by the head of agency and its Special Disbursement Officer, or SDO, stating that the expenses were incurred in connection with the agency's confidential expenses and activities with supporting documents and documentary evidence of payment is needed, Mr. Chairman. As the name suggests, ebidensya, is supposed to prove a fact that the confidential funds were utilized for confidential expenses. Ang hindi dapat basta-basta lang ibinubulsa at hindi dapat lang, Mr. Chairman, dapat lang binubulsa o napupunta lang sa kung ano-anong gastusin. Mr. Chair, from among these documents, this committee discovered that the confidential funds, which should be utilized by civilian agencies for security and surveillance activities, was just handed over to 2 members of the Vice President's security team upon the instruction of the VP herself. Sinabi po ito ng kanyang Special Disbursement Officers na si Ms. Gina Acosta at Mr. Fajarda. Those funds, Mr. Chair, were never to be seen again. And according to the SDOs, these same 2 members of our security group supposedly just provided them with the acknowledgement receipts to be submitted to COA. Ibig sabihin po nito, Mr. Chair, para po mag-comply sa requirement na nag-submit ng documentary evidence of payment, ang binigay ng OVP at DepEd ay acknowledgement receipts lamang. But in the course of investigating the OVP and DepEd submissions to the COA, these acknowledgement receipts, which were supposedly submitted to prove that it actually utilized confidential funds for the purpose stated in its fiscal and financial plan, Mr. Chair, we uncovered a number of anomalies. Sabi ko nga po, ang tanong, nanganganak ng mas maraming tanong. Mukhang ang mga supposed evidence or proof of the use of these confidential funds ay bogus or gawa-gawa lamang. Fake no, ang tawag po sa English. These discoveries led us to the conclusion that something was really amiss, Mr. Chair. May mali na ang pagkakamali na ito ay humahantong po, Mr. Chairman, sa katiwalian. Under Joint Circular 2015-001, it states that confidential funds must be utilized during the period of the particular project. This was confirmed by a resource person, Attorney Gimora, who said during the November 20, 2024 hearing before this committee that she agreed that in relation to the submitted acknowledgement receipts for OVP's confidential funds in December 2022, these do not conform with the period that was covered by the confidential funds. Ito po yung kasagutan niya nung tinanong po siya ng ating kasamahan po dito, si Congressman Jill Bungalon. In the submitted acknowledgement receipts of the OVP to the COA, which as previously mentioned, it was supposedly a proof of its utilization of confidential funds from December 21 to December 31, 2022. And yet, we found numerous receipts which were dated outside of the period. Ibig sabihin, may mga resibuta po tayo dyan na hindi po within the prescribed o tinalagang dates kung saan nagkaroon po ng utilization ng confidential funds. Mr. Chairman, yung confidential funds na dinisburse po ng December 21 to December 31 of 2022 ay mayroon din pong resibo tayong natanggap na dated, na bago pa man ito, Mr. Chair, may mga acknowledgement receipts po tayo na natanggap na ito ay ginasta bago pa man ng December 21, 2022 at mga ibang acknowledgement receipts na nagasta ng December 2023. Ang tanong ko po, Mr. Chairman, sa atin, Paano naman ito mangyayari, Mr. Chair? Hindi rin po pwedeng sabihin na para sa ibang confidential funds ito na napasama lang. Because neither the OVP nor the Department of Education had any confidential funds prior to 21 December 2023, nor for December 2023. Wala naman po na confidential funds na binibigay or accordingly gagamitin or gagastahin nung prior, bago nag-December 21, 2023 at wala naman pong confidential funds na allotted for December of 2023. What are shown on the screen, Mr. Chair, are not just the only ones we found as based on our examination of the acknowledgement receipts. We also found, Mr. Chair, that more than 150 acknowledgement receipts representing payments which amounted to more than 24 million pesos. Mahirap pong paniwalaan, Mr. Chair, na typographical errors ito o nagkamali lang po sa PEDSA. Masyado naman pong marami siguro itong mga typographical errors na ito because it amounts to 150 acknowledgement receipts. Further, in my experience, Mr. Chair, lahat naman ho tayo nagkakamali. Human error ang tawag po natin. Human error as to the writing of the dates would typically be that of the previous year and not of the succeeding year. Ibig sabihin, Mr. Chair, lahat naman ho tayo nagkakamali, lalo lang na pag mga bagong taon. Minsan, hindi pa ho natin masyadong yung acclimatize tayo doon sa pumasok na taon. Ang minsan na susulat po natin ay yung mga nakaraang taon. Hindi po yung preceding year. Na-experience po natin yan as a human error. Na nagkakamali po tayo bearing the earlier year than the preceding year. Ibig sabihin po, Mr. Chair, hindi yung darating na taon ang may susulat po natin sa mga dokumentong pinipirmahan natin. In fact, Mr. Chair, in the OVP's response to the Audit Observation Memo number 2013-211 and 2013-213, dated 19 October 2023, in which the OVP attached the aforementioned acknowledgement receipts for each December 2022 confidential expenses, it stated that the amount of 125 million pesos was supposedly spent within the period. However, as I previously mentioned, Mr. Chair, a total of 158 acknowledgement receipts submitted by the OVP for each December 2023 confidential funds expenses were made outside the period of December 21 to December 31 of 2022. Contrary, Mr. Chair, to the statement of the OVP, Mr. Chair. These acknowledgement receipts were fabricated kasi wala nga po tayong basihan kung bakit ito nagastos. Wala nga ho siya doon sa date kung dapat siya paggastosan. Because they bore dates different from the period covered, Mr. Chair. Simple po yan. Very simple po yan ang makikita po ng taong bayan yan. Para daw po sa 21 of December to 31 of December of 2022 raw po ang mga ARs na isinumite. This is shown by the certification dated 10 of January 2023 where Ms. Acosta certified that the acknowledgement receipts submitted, which we just showed, Mr. Chair, was for the period of December 21 to December 21 of 2022. Yung nakuha po ng OVP noong December 20, 2022. Pero po sa mga AR na ito, mayroong pong dalawa. Isa dated November 27, 2022 at isang dated December 12, Mr. Chair, 2022. Ito pong mga PEDSA na ito, it preceded the date with the confidential funds were released to the OVP in December 2022, while the others are dated in December 2022 or after the funds have been supposedly spent, Mr. Chair. Ang tanong ko po, paano po nangyari yon na meron po silang mga ARs dated prior to the actual releases of the confidential funds at may mga ARs sila dated na after supposedly na na-spent na yung kanilang confidential funds. Bali ho, Mr. Chair, mukhang base po sa sobrang dami ng mga acknowledgement receipts na ito na isinagawa lang noong hinihingan ng ebidensya ng COA sa pinadalang AOM sa Office of the Vice President. Sa aking palagay, Mr. Chair, ay itong panahon lang din na ito nagsimula gumawa ng mga ganitong klaseng acknowledgement receipts ang OVP para isumite. Para po, Mr. Chair, hindi magmukhang ginasta itong confidential expenses kung saan-saan lang po nila nilagay. Mr. Chair, it's very clear, Mr. Chair, kung titingnan po natin ng dates doon sa covered nung request of the confidential funds with that of the acknowledgement receipt na natanggap po natin, mukhang bogus po at fictitious po itong mga confidential funds, Mr. Chair. Wag din ho natin kakalimutan na by its very nature, Mr. Chair, acknowledgement receipts po ito. Ibig sabihin, pipirmahan mo ito tuwing natatanggap mo ang pera. Ibig po ba sabihin ito, Mr. Chair, mahigit 100 tao ang nagkamali na nagsabing December 2023 ang kanilang pinirman habang tinanggap nila ang pera para sa December 2022? Imposible naman po yan mangyari, Mr. Chair, dear colleagues. Let me go to another discovery that we noticed, we had, no? Another anomaly this committee noticed was the use of a very unique ink in the shade of blue and several acknowledgement receipts mula po sa Office of the Vice President. At first glance, Mr. Chair, we found that these acknowledgement receipts, which supposedly were signed by different persons in different months, clearly have the same unique shade of blue ink. There are many different types of pens, Mr. Chair. Alam po natin yan. May fountain pens, may sign pens, or whatever in the Philippines na available po sa market. But what are the chances, Mr. Chair, that the same ink would be used for 2 or more acknowledgement receipts submitted by the Office of the Vice President? If you ask me, Mr. Chair, the chances are very, very low. Especially, Mr. Chair, kung titingnan nyo po, itong tinta na ito ay hindi mumurahin. Mahal po yan na ballpen. Hindi po yan common na ginagamit na ballpen. Ang mas kapanipaniwala, Mr. Chair, para sa akin, ay only one person probably made these acknowledgement receipts, and they are not the ones who received the funds as indicated in the acknowledgement receipts. Mr. Chair, my staff was also able to find acknowledgement receipts in different names, but the strokes o yung sinasabi po nating pagkasulat ng kanilang mga signatures signatures ito were identical. Dalawang different persons but the same identical strokes of signatures. Incidentally, Mr. Chair, these were all done on March of 2023. Moreover, Mr. Chair, the signatures all bear the same figure, done to 2 or 3 times. It's hard to believe, Mr. Chair, that such common signatures would appear like this. I admit that I'm not an expert in this kind of analysis, unlike those at the NBI, kasi sila naman po yung competent gumawa nito na examination. But based on what I know, Mr. Chair, these coincidences are too hard to ignore. In any event, Mr. Chair, ito pong committee na ito ay pinapasuri po natin yan sa NBI to make sure that these signatures are signed by the same person. Titingnan niyo mo po yan sa monitor, the same strokes, different persons. We also found out, Mr. Chair, that 2 acknowledgement receipts, both in the name of Milky Sikuya, both had done on the same day. Same po pinirmahan on the same day, same address in Zambales, and using the same pen. However, have totally different signatures. Tingnan niyo po, magkakaiba. The same day, the same date, same name, but different signatures. Tanong ko po, Mr. Chair, did the person who signed this receipt suddenly forget how they signed in the middle of the same day? Nagkamali ho siya na nakapirma pala siya tapos pipirma ulit ng isang acknowledgement receipt? Di ba ba pag naka-receive ka na, hindi ka na ho magpipirma at hindi ka namang mag-receive ng isang another acknowledgement or payment? It could have been acceptable, Mr. Chair, if there was merely a small variance between the signatures. Although, as we can see, these 2 signatures are wholly different from each other. Which only leads to the conclusion, Mr. Chair, that whoever made these ARs was not actually this Milky Sikuya. This is truly mind-boggling, Mr. Chair, to say the least. Another, Mr. Chair, another character who we found is a certain Alice Crescencio. There were 3 different acknowledgement receipts in the name of one Alice Crescencio, submitted by the Department of Education in her name. 3 po yan. na acknowledgement receipts from the same agency, Department of Education, bearing the same name. However, Mr. Chair, similar to our friend, tandaan niyo po si Kokoy Villamin na na-present po natin nung previous hearing. Similar to our friend Kokoy Villamin, Mr. Chair, there were 3 different signatures. Kapansin-pansin din po rito, Mr. Chair, na si Miss Alice, was apparently, according to these ARs, were in different parts of the Philippines. Pinirman niya, nung inuna, nasa Pasay City siya. Pangalawa, pumirma siya, nasa Iligan City, sa Mindanao. At doon po sa ang aking probinsya, sa Lanao del Sur. Pumirma din ho siya doon. Baka nandun din siya according to the acknowledgement receipt. So, itong pangalan po ito, Mr. Chair, it leaves a very questions, no? Kaya sabi ko, nanganganak ng tanong. Itong mga pangalan na po ito, Mr. Chair, ay hindi pangkaraniwan. Hindi ho natin masyadong naririnig ang Alice Crescencio. Hindi ho common name ito. Kung Maria, ano man yan, yun ang mga common name. But this is an uncommon name. And the chances are, what are the chances, Mr. Chair, that 3 different individuals, persons, have the same names and spelling? What are the chances, Mr. Chair? All receiving the same confidential funds for different purposes from the same agency, which is DepEd. Sobrang laking coincidence ito, Mr. Chair, which actually, it's a mind-boggling. Medyo po para sa akin, kung isipin po natin ito, medyo kalokohan. I'm sorry to use the term po. Medyo kalokohan na po ito. The more likely explanation na gusto ko pong isipin ay itong mga taga-pirma o tagagawa nitong mga ARs na ito ay hindi coordinated. Baka hindi ko sila nag-coordinate and they fail to probably overlook the possibility that they may use the same name. No, signing 3 different ARs from 3 different locations bearing gamit ang isang pangalan, which is in this case Alice Crescencio. Mr. Chair, pero hindi po dyan nagtatapos ang mga kababalaghan ang nakikita natin sa acknowledgement receipts. Mr. Chair, it is also these representations. It's my privilege and honor, Mr. Chair, to introduce to you sina Miss Sally at si Miss Sheila. Magkakaibang pangalan po ito, Mr. Chair, at malamang magkakaibang tao. Kaya nga po sila magkaibang pangalan. Pero ano po ang kapansin-pansin, Mr. Chair? At ano ang napapansin natin rito sa pinipirmang acknowledgement receipts nila from DepEd as seen on the screen? Isa lang po ang pirma nila, si Miss Sally at si Miss Sheila. Kabaliktaran po ito ni Kokoy Villamin. Si Kokoy, parehong pangalan pero isa ang pirma. Kabaliktaran po ni Miss Sheila at Miss Sally. Magkaibang pangalan pero parehong pirma. These are 2 different persons, Mr. Chair, from 2 different addresses, I would assume. However, they have the exact same signature with exact same strokes. At baka isang tintang ballpen ang ginamit, Mr. Chair. At magkaibang lugar, Mr. Chair. Nandito po si Manong Johnny, taga Surigao din po siya. So it makes you think, Mr. Chair, that what are again the chances? That once again, that 2 different people from Digos City and Surigao City, being more than 400 kilometers away from each other, have the same exact name and the same signature. 2 people signing the same acknowledgement receipts, 2 different people signing with the same signatures in 2 different locations which are 400 kilometers apart from each other. Taga Mindanao po ako, so alam ko po yung gaano kalayo ang Digos at ang Surigao. For me, Mr. Chair, only 1 person did these acknowledgement receipts, but merely changed his handwriting style from print to script in writing, the name and the addresses, but also forgetting, Mr. Chair, probably to change the signature. Yun lang po ang aking naiisip na possible na answer. And because of this, Mr. Chair, I believe that this receipt was again merely fabricated. We have all been introduced to our new characters, Mr. Chair. Si Alice, Crescencio, Milky Way si Kuya, Sally, and Miss Sheila. But let us not also forget our original friends na pinakilala ng committee na ito. One of the stars on the issue, Mr. Chair, of the confidential fund is one Mr. Kokoy Villamin. ina-mention ko po sa inyo earlier, and this was also presented in the previous hearings. Mr. Coco Villamin, who happens to receive confidential funds from both the OVP and the DepEd. Kung maalala niyo po, Mr. Chair, si Mr. Cocoy Villamin ay ang isa sa mga unang napansin ng committee ito marahil sa kanyang kakaibang pangalan at sa magkaiba-ibang kanyang mga pirma. Napanood din po natin, Mr. Chair, at napanood ng committee ito ang interview kay PSA Assistant National Statistician Mariza Grande na tinitingnan nila ang pangalan niya sa kanilang records at isiniwalat niya na wala silang makitang records pertaining to Mr. Cocoy Villamin. This was brought about by the request of Congresswoman Jinky Luistro na para po ma-confirm natin na may talagang tao nito, we need to seek the assistance of PSA and NBI. Pero according sa kanila, wala po silang records na may tao pong Mr. Cocoy Villamin. According kay PSA na Assistant National Statistician na Mariza Grande. Base po sa kanilang initial na findings na ito ng PSA, mas panatag ako, Mr. Chair, na ang confidential funds na di umano'y binigay kay Mr. Villamin ay hindi talaga sa kanya napunta at hindi talaga itong totoong tao. I mean, common sense would dictate, Mr. Chair, that same name, bearing the same name, ay hindi po magkakaroon ng dalawang signatures. And it reinforces our original questions kung meron po bang mga taong ganito. Ang pinakabida, Mr. Chair, sa ating naging inquiry in aid of legislation sa committee ito ay of course, si Miss Mary Grace Piatos. Thank you to Chairman Romy Acop. Siya po yung unang nakaobserba at na-notice po niya ang pangalan. Dahil yung pangalan pong ito, ang una nating napansin at napansin ni Chairman Acop dahil ito po ay kombinasyon, according to him, ng isang restaurant at chichirya. At tama na po, lahat po tayo nag-agree noon. Nung inaisiwalat sa committee ito ang acknowledgement receipt ni Miss Mary Grace Piatos, kami ay tunay na mangha. Tayo po, hindi lang tayo, ang buong bayan ng namangha. We reached out to the National Statistics Authority and inquired from them into whether this was a real person or a made-up character. We were likewise informed, Mr. Chair, that the NSA had no record of any person bearing the name of Mary Grace Piatos. There are certain personalities, Mr. Chair, who claim this Mary Grace Piatos were merely a code name, adding that in television and in movies, sa mga palabas at sa television, these code names are used for secret mission. But the fugitive, and I address to him directly in hiding, forgets that this is real life. Tunay po tayo nag-iimbestiga dito, hindi po ito television, hindi po ito palabas. That the people's money, earned through the hard work of every Filipino, should be scrutinized on how they were spent by our agencies. Mr. Chair, ang keyword, Mr. Chair, is transparency. Transparency is required kasi kailangan masilip ng otoridad, gaya ng COA, o kaya't ang taong bayan kung nasa tama ba ang paggastos ng kanilang pondo. In this particular case, the confidential funds. The PSA recently informed us, Mr. Chair, that our new friends, Mr. Cocoy Villamin, Ms. Milky Sicuya, and Ms. Alice Crescencio, are also all non-existent. Wala po silang record. Non-existent. Hindi po sila, according to PSA, ay posibleng hindi po ito mga tao. There is no record of their birth, no record of their marriage, contracts, whatsoever, or death. No, sana naman po, hindi death, no? Although we just want to leave no stone unturned. That's why we request them if they have a proof that would really prove an evidence of their existence. Birth, marriage, or even death certificates. Wala po, according to PSA. In fact, Mr. Chairman, of the 677 names from the DepEd acknowledgement receipts, which we submitted to the PSA for verification, para po patunayan na kung mayroon bang tao na ganito, the 677 names from the ARs, it was determined by the PSA, Mr. Chair, that only 405 of these ARs with these names have no record whatsoever. So malaki-laki po yung persyento, 677. Out of the 677, 405 ang wala pong verifikasyon at wala pong record ng PSA. So Mr. Chair, it is unlikely that all of these are merely code names, as some supposedly high-powered lawyer would claim, that this simply would not make sense from a legal standpoint, which we will discuss more, Mr. Chair, and from a practical perspective, since it would be an unbelievable, unimaginable amount of effort to do. Imagine, Mr. Chair, gumawa ka, pag-imbento ka ng ganyang karamihang pangalan. At let us go back to Alice Crescencio. If, assuming without conceding that these are code names, di ba pag mga code names po, ibig sabihin you somehow protect the real identity of the person. That's why you're using code names. Itatanungin ko po, ilang beses silang kumukuha ng code name sa sinasin sa isang tao? Halimbawa, si Alice Crescencio, 3 beses pumirma sa magkakaibang lugar ng ARs. How would they find out if Miss Alice Crescencio is assigned to a particular person kung 3 beses nila itong ginamit? Kung tanamang, if assuming that what they're saying is true, how sloppy they are to work and assign 3 code names to 3, same code name to 3 different persons. Mr. Chair, under item 4.15.3 of the Joint Circular, expressly requires that the SDO certify to the fact that such supporting documents for confidential funds are kept in a vault, while item 6.2.21 of the same Joint Circular requires that liquidation reports, along with supporting documents like the acknowledgement receipts, are required to be submitted in a sealed envelope. Ibig sabihin, ang sinasabi po dito sa Joint Circular, kinakailangan po na mag-certify ang SDO na may supporting documents ang confidential funds at nilalagay po sa vault para hindi po basta-basta may labas yan. At sinasabi din ho dito sa sa Joint Circular na ang liquidation reports ay dapat may supporting documents. Hindi lang po ang ARs, no? At nilalagay po yan sa sealed envelope. Ganun po kaimportante yan. Ang mga requirements po na ito, Mr. Chair, ay tiyak na alam ng mga staff po ng opisina ng Vice President at ng Department of Education. In fact, Mr. Chair, to prove that they know this circular, the requirement of this circular memorandum, sinabi po ni Ms. Gina Acosta in a certification dated 10 January of 2022, certified si Ms. Acosta that the details and supporting documents relating to use of confidential funds are kept in safe. Sinabi po niya yan, na nilalagay po nila as a way to observe what is required of them to do.